The command module computer is now in program 40, the service propulsion system thrusting program, as the Apollo 10 crew gets prepared for the Lunar Orbit Insertion number 1 burn, which will take place 22 minutes 20 seconds from now. They will be behind the moon at that time, out of contact with the Earth. Loss of signal 14 minutes 39 seconds from now. Apollo 10 is reported to be maneuvering to burn attitude at this time. The LOI maneuver will be a retrograde burn with the spacecraft pitched up 22 degrees. There will also be some out-of-plane component in this burn to take care of the rest of the maneuver needed to place Apollo 10 on the proper inclination across the lunar equator. The first part of this maneuver was done during the mid-course burn. Be completed during the LOI burn.
Apollo 10, can read our disk key. We've trimmed for the trim attitude, and as far as our checklist, we're minus 6 minutes waiting.
Roger, we copy 10. We have you holding at minus 6 minutes. 10, Houston, one reminder, we read it on the high bit rate. It's 30 seconds over for the burn.
Roger, understand, go to high bit rate. We've got that on our checklist. We'll ensure we go there 30 seconds prior to the burn.
Roger.
Following a good LOI 1 burn, Apollo 10 will be on the exact ground track that Apollo 11 will have.
Houston, we got a bunch of clocks running in here, but just in case, give us a sync hack at 10 minutes, will you?
Roger, we'll give you a hack at 10 minutes, over.
Apollo 10 is now 9 minutes away from loss of signal. Its distance from the moon is 681 nautical miles. Velocity, 6,916 feet per second.
Houston, Apollo 10, just tried looking out as far as I can out of the top hatch window and still can't see the moon, but we'll take your word that it's there. Over.
Roger, 10, that's guaranteed. It's there. Over.
Okay.
That was a trusting Tom Stafford.
It's there plus 60 miles.
No guarantee on that. Our trench guys guarantee 60 by 170 on your, if you burn on the P40 number.
Man, it bears on me if it's 60 by 170.
We'll take that.
And if it ain't, we don't have to worry about it.
That was Gene Cernan. Coming up on 3 minutes to loss of signal. Mark 3 minutes.
Apollo 10, Houston, on my mark, it'll be 10 minutes ignition. Over.
Yeah, Roger.
Apollo 10, stand by for mark, 10 minutes. Mark, 10 minutes, ignition.
We're safe.
Roger.
And again, he gave him that mark 2 seconds early to allow for the lag time in communication.
Apollo 10, Houston, 2 minutes to LOS. Everybody here says Godspeed.
Okay, and we'll see you right on the other side in orbit.
Roger, 762255.
We'll be calling you.
And there's LOS right on the numbers. And as Apollo 10 and its crew goes behind the moon, they're 7 minutes, 16 seconds away from the Lunar Orbit insertion burn. That burn scheduled for 75 hours, 55 minutes, 53 seconds. Total delta V of 2,982.4 feet per second. A burn time of 5.54 minutes. 5 minutes, 54 seconds. This is Apollo control. As Apollo 10 went behind the moon, we were showing a distance of 256 nautical miles from the moon, a velocity of 7,770 feet per second, and a spacecraft weight of 93,281 pounds. Given a good lunar orbit insertion burn, we should reacquire Apollo 10 in 20 minutes, 52 seconds, at an elapsed time of 76 hours, 22 minutes, 58 seconds. Mark 3 minutes to LOI burn. We won't know how this maneuver has gone until we acquire Apollo 10 as it comes around the front of the moon. One minute to LOI. Five seconds. Ignition in Apollo 10 should be burning now. And at that time of ignition, Apollo 10 was 98.4 nautical miles from the moon, 215,847 nautical miles from Earth. And we have 2 clocks counting in the control room now. The top clock reading AOS CM reads 25 minutes 8 seconds. That's the acquisition of signal time with a good LOI burn. The bottom clock reads 14 minutes 24 seconds, and that is the acquisition time if Apollo 10 did not perform the burn. Flight Director Chris Kraft describes the attitude in this control center now as anticipatory. And it's very quiet in this control room right now. A few conversations going, but not very many. Most controllers sitting at their consoles very quietly. The entire Apollo 10 backup crew is here in the control center. Gordon Cooper, Don Isley, and Ed Mitchell. The 2 Capcoms, Charlie Duke and Bruce McCandless. Jack Schmidt is still here. Deke Slayton, the Director of Flight Crew Operations, is here, talking at the moment with Dr. Robert Gilruth, the Director of MSC. George Lowe, the Apollo Spacecraft Program Manager, is here with Chris Kraft, the Director of Flight Operations. And Lieutenant General Samuel Phillips, the Apollo Program Director, is seated next to them. On the other side of General Phillips is George Hage, the Mission Director. We understand that Dr. Kurt Debus, the Director of the Kennedy Space Center, and Dr. Von Braun, the Director of the Marshall Space Flight Center, are in the viewing room. we'll try to get a list of some of the other people in the viewing room. And this is Apollo Control. Among other distinguished visitors in the viewing room are Dr. George Miller, the Associate Administrator for Manned Spaceflight, NASA, Mr. Lou Evans, the President of Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation, the prime contractor for the lunar module, and the Vice President for Space of that company, Joe Gavin. The manufacturer of the command module, Charlie Brown, is represented by William Bergen, President of the Space Division of North American Rockwell, and Rusty Schweikert, who was the lunar module pilot on the Apollo 9 mission, is in the viewing room. And the lunar map has replaced the world map on the big board at the front of the control room. We're a minute 23 seconds away from the time we should acquire Apollo 10 if the lunar orbit insertion burn was not performed. We're 11 minutes 45 seconds away from acquisition of Sgnal with a good lunar orbit insertion burn. And we've passed the time for AOS if we didn't have a burn and there's no data. And as Chris Kraft just said, silence, and he counted down the last 5 seconds of that time out loud. We're 6 minutes away from the time we should be hearing from Apollo 10. Three minutes, 56 seconds away. We're waiting. Mark 2 minutes. One minute. Everyone here is watching displays and listening. Thirty seconds. 10. We have AOS. We are getting data. We don't have any voice communication yet, but at the time we got data indicates it was a very good burn.
Hello, Apollo 10, Houston, over.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 10, you can tell the world that we have arrived.
Roger, 10, it's good to hear from you.
You wouldn't believe this thing.
That was John Young.
The guidance was absolutely fantastic, and we'll give you the burns right now.
This engine is just beautiful. Charlie, my hat's off to the guys in the trench. I love them. Yeah, kiss that man that runs MSFN.
I don't know that I can do that, though, but I'll say thank you.
Okay, Charlie, ready to copy your burns?
Go ahead.
Yeah, say thank you big. You ready to copy the post-burn report?
Roger, go.
Okay, the burn was on time. The burn time was 5 plus 5, 6. Our roll, pitch, and yaw angles guidance was all good. Our residuals were 0, minus 0.2, and 0. Delta VC read 7.0. That's minus 7.0. The fuel remaining is 37.7%. Oxidizer is 39.5%. The unbalance, I'd like to talk about the present unbalance, is 500 increase. We're in a 169.1 by a 59.6. The chamber pressure increased smoothly throughout the burn from 98 to 103 with no apparent discernible jump at the second ball valve initiation. I take that back, Charlie. It bounced up to 98 and then smoothly from 98 on to 103 with all 4 ball valves on. The unbalance, are you still with me?
Roger, go ahead. Standing by, over.
Okay, I watched the unbalance go from where we left it at 200 decrease from the short burns. I didn't touch it until after everything settled down, after we were into the burn for 30 minutes. At that time, the unbalance was 300 to 350 decrease. I put the oxidizer flow valve in a decrease position. I brought it up to 0. I closed it, and then it started on up. After it hit about 150 increase, I put it to increase, and it held it. Barely held it, and it creeped up from like about 250 to the present point at 500. I actually neutralized the flow valve at about 20 seconds before the burn ended, and when I put it to normal, then the increase went from about 400 to 500.
Roger, we copy 10. It looks like you really have arrived. It's a great burn.
And the oxidizer and fuel remaining agree very accurately with the onboard graph I have of the helium pressure, which is about 1750 right now.
Roger, we copy 10.
And the first view I had in the moon was reflected in the overhead window of the lamp. How's that grab you?
Hey, great.
That's Gene Cernan with the post-burn report.
Hello, you have to see this planet to believe it.
Roger, 10. We got Fido looking at the radar residuals are very small. Give us a chance to track a while, and we'll confirm. Over.
Okay, Charlie. You don't think it's I think it's confirmed as far as I'm concerned.
Roger, we're committed, 10. It looks good.
That's John Young who's convinced there.
How's the view, 10?
We have our astute geologists here overlooking the surface, and they'll report a minute.
Roger, standing by, over.
Okay, we're just passing from the highlands over into the Maury area, and you can pass on to Jack. We caught a couple of real pretty little volcanoes, there's no doubt about them, and we got a couple of good high-resolution photos. And it still looks kind of brownish gray to us here. Over.
Roger, we copy.
Yeah, there was place back there where there's that. There was one volcano, or whatever it was, that
It was all white on the outside, but definitely black around the top of it.
Roger.
Charlie, it might sound corny, but the view is really out of this world.
Roger. We had a couple of comments from the back row that I won't repeat.
Those first words, "we have arrived," were from Tom Stafford, and John Young commented, and then Gene Cernan gave the post-burn report. That was also Tom with reporting 2 volcanoes, and then John Young came back in with a description of what looked like a volcano with black around the top.
Hello, Apollo 10, Houston, we have a map update for Rev 2 if you're ready to copy, over.
Stand by.
Okay, Charlie, go ahead.
Roger, for LOS, 774759er. 775827. 783119er. We got a sunrise time of 775140 and a sunset of 791333. Ready for your read back, over.
Okay, Rev 2 is 774759er, 775827, and 783119er. Sunrise is 775140, sunset is 791333.
Roger. 10, Houston, according to IMAP, we have you coming up on the sea of waves, and to your left, Langrenus.
This is Apollo Control. It's 76 hours, 34 minutes. And as you heard, Gene Cernan reported that burn was right on time. Duration was 5 minutes, 56 seconds. And a murmur of almost of unbelief ran through this control center when they read out those residuals, 0, -0.2, and 0. The onboard reading of the orbit, the lunar orbit, for Apollo 10 was 169.1 nautical miles. Apollune, 59.6 nautical miles paraloon. We were shooting for 60 by 170.
See the sea of crisis up here. That's the first real thing I'm positive of that I've seen that I recognize, and boy, it's really stands out.
Roger, we copy.
That was John Young reporting. You could see the Sea of Crises. It stands out very well.
Houston, Apollo 10. Now, one thing about the orbital rate up here in the track, it's considerably slower than around the Earth.
Roger, we copy 10, over.
But also, looking out at the horizon and some of the mountains we can see down here, that's going to be a real kick tomorrow down at 50,000 feet. Over.
We copy that.
That was Tom Stafford.
Uh, 10, we're expecting an appropriate comment tomorrow.
We'll use the right words. This will be on Fox, Charlie.
Roger.
And the people in the trench that the crew showered the praise on are the flight dynamics officers, whose consoles are on the front row in the control center. That area is referred to as the trench. And Fido wants to get some tracking before he commits himself on the orbital parameters, but he expects them to be right on nominal, very, very close.
We've got Langrenus now out here off the, it depends on which way you roll, but off to the one side here. Brilliant, beautiful, sharp peak right in the center.
Copy, 10.
Yeah, and it appears our water boiler is working too.
All right, we confirm that. We picked it up a moment ago.
What the...
Yes.
Hello, Apollo 10, Houston. We're working on a time for you to cross Site 1. And did you attempt to call a second ago? Over.
Negative, I don't think so, Charlie. Over.
Roger.
We're showing spacecraft weight now as 69,493 pounds. Apollo 10 losing a lot of weight in that long LOI burn. The weight at LOS was 93,281 pounds.
Hello, Apollo 10, Houston. We have a time crossing latitude for longitude for Site 1, 764920. Over.
Go.
Roger.
Roger, Charlie, and I think we're coming over the Taruntius twins now. Looks like we got them real clear.
Roger, we copy. 10, what's your early estimate of landmark tracking ability? Jake do a good job for you? You got a lot of good landmarks?
Starting to look just like NASA Road 1 out there now.
Sounds really great. Over.
Roger. Just wait till this afternoon. At the speed we're traveling, that TV camera with the zoom should really give you a fantastic picture.
We're standing by.
NASA Road 1 is the road in front of the Manned Spacecraft Center.
Hey, Charlie, you'll be glad to know we're walking right up our LEM chart, right up our track in the Apollo Ridge right now. We've just seen the 4 Trenchius, Papa, Kilo, Hotel, and George. We've seen big Trenchius. We're looking at Messier and Messier A, and Secchi K ought to be coming up, and then Secchi.
Roger, we copy, 10. We're following along with you.
That was Gene Cernan calling out those landmarks along the ground track.
We're B1 right now, come to think of it.
All right, we copy.
And Houston, Secchi is very well defined as we come into Apollo Ridge, and the rail perpendicular to the ridge, and and parallel to the ridge is very well defined in this area. The chicken track area is very easy to see from this altitude.
We copy, 10. 10, Houston, as you near Site 1, if you get a chance, could you comment on the volcanic cones in the highlands south of track, over?
Houston, Apollo 10, we're right over Cernan at this time, at least through my hatch window. Over.
Roger, Tom. We copy. We're plotting you right along, over.
And I've got the Terminator out my window coming up. It sure makes the landscape look a little different.
Roger, 10. Could you comment on the shadows as you come up to the Terminator and your ability to detect landmarks in that area, over?
I think it's going to be real good. Just like the 8 guys said, you can see down into these shadows.
Roger, good show, John.
Like I'm looking at down on one crater. I'm looking down at one crater, and there's a crater on that's underneath the shadow, but I don't have any trouble at all seeing it from here.
Roger.
Okay, we've reached a 208 inertial, and we'll just hold this attitude around since this is the sleep attitude as per flight plan.
Roger, we confirm.
There's no doubt about it, this Maria area out here is darker than the other. It looks like it's turning nearly black, where before, looking out there, it looks like a light shade of grayish brown. And I bet that TV camera will show it to you pretty good. Over.
Roger, we're standing by for the TV, and he stopped in orb rate at 208 inertial, over.
And Charlie, I got Theophilus right on the Terminator here, and you can see well down into it. It's got a very pronounced central peak, which is not nearly as high as a rim, and it's got a little rim crater just on the inside, which is very easily distinguishable. And then just preceding it at 30 east and about 11 south, the small crater preceding it, in contrast, has no central peak that's visible.
Roger, 10, we've located you on a map.
Okay, I've got,
go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, well, I'm right over masculine and masculine B now, and be leading right into landing site 2.
Roger, we've keeping a check on all your systems. Everything looks great to us. You got a great spacecraft.
And Sidewinder reel and Diamondback reel stand out just tremendous here. We're just about to cross the Terminator.
Roger.
Boy, that's really something there. I don't see why the fish aren't dumped down that creek. And Torricelli is off to the right on my forward window, very easily distinguishable at this sun angle. Those rails are something else again.
And Houston, we'll have you coming up to Site 2 at 7653. You might be in too dark at that point, but that's the time. Over.
Okay, Charlie, at 208 here, inertial attitude, we're going just about straight down, and most of the terrain right down below my window is starting to disappear, and nighttime is getting black here. But the one thing that really stands out was those features that we picked out, and I guess all the homework is paid off because, like I said, it's just like NASA Road 1 leading up to it. Over.
That sounds really great. We got our friendly geologist back here grinning, and looks like we're going to be go for all the landmark tracking and everything in.
Okay, and I've just picked up Moki down below. I can just see a little bit of the white rim, and the rest is black. landing site 1, site 2 is completely in the black, but I can see half of the rim of Moki, and that's about it. We're now passing into darkness.
We copy, over.
Jack, although this is, or Charlie, although we're going into this backwards, it's still amazingly easy to pick up these landmarks as we're going into the landing site, especially the ones that we've worked on a lot more heavily.
Roger, understand, 10. Do you have your, are you monitoring?
We should be looking down, of course, it's in... We're looking down right now, as Tom said, right over Site 2. It's in darkness, and we've got a lot of reflected sun off the LEM, but right over in the Surveyor 5 area also, but it's in darkness at the present time.
You can... A feature we call US-1 stands out real well, and it disappears in the darkness right by Moki. And the area over to the right, there's no doubt there's been some volcanism in there, and that's what we term the Oklahoma Hills. Over.
We copy, 10. We thought you had your descent strip chart out. We're breaking ours out here now.
I knew he named something Oklahoma Hills.
You notice he got that in on the first rep, too.
It's still visible on my side window. It's still visible. Theophilus is still visible out my side window, and it's right on the terminator, and it's beautiful the way the shadows are falling in it. If you would believe this, the only thing that is lit in Theophilus is the back rim and the central peak in the center of it. Central peak looks like it's going to last just about as long in sunlight as the far rim.
10, Roger, we copy. 10, Houston, we'd like you to elaborate a little bit on the rills that you commented on about 5 minutes ago, Diamondback and Sidewinder, over.
Okay, I'll tell you, from my experience around the Earth, you can tell, Jack, it looks like Canyon Diablo out there in New Mexico. They're definitely dropped down with sharp walls. It doesn't look like there is any build up along the sides. It's just straight down like a graben. At least from this angle up here, at least from 60 miles, it looks like they're straight down. It kind of looks something like Canyon Diablo. And we'll give you a better description tomorrow at 50,000. Over.
Roger, we copy.
Also, US-1. Look, US-1 looks like it's got pretty vertical edges, but again, this is from 60 miles. We'll give you a better description tomorrow. Over.
Roger, 10. We copy. In the rills, can you see? Do you think you can see the bottom of those things? Do you see any boulders, anything down there? It's probably pretty difficult from that altitude, but can you comment on that?
Charlie, no, 60 miles is too far up. It's mostly dark down there at this sun angle. Later on, we see some around on the other side, and tomorrow we'll give you a better description.
Roger.
Say the truth, I didn't look that close, but it's the shadow that goes down in there. All you could tell was the rill. You couldn't see the bottom of it.
Roger.
Gino says that the ones he looked at were rounded off in the bottom. Houston 10, you might tell Jack that he forgot to tell us to practice studying these landmarks standing on our head.
Roger. He heard the comment, and he'll take care of that for the next flight. We got we'll have no update for you on your block data for the TEIs, and we confirm your orbit is 60.6 by 170.1 on 8 minutes of tracking, over.
Right, 60.6 by 170.1. That agrees pretty close. I guess we owe you, don't we?
Not me, DeFato.
Houston 10, you want me to leave my my high bit rate switch in high.
Stand by.
Okay.
10 Houston, we'd like your bit rate switch to go to low, over.
Okay, sorry I didn't catch that earlier.
Okay.
Houston 10.
Go ahead, 10, over.
Okay, I guess I'm looking for some words on the plug switch as to whether or not you want me to go ahead and put this one in increase at the start of the next burn, or possibly use secondary, considering the unbalance we've got.
Stand by, we'll get you some word in a
The
minute.
oxidizer flow valve is what I'm referring to.
Roger, we'll get you some word in a minute, 10, over.
Okay, Charlie. Well, the thing I didn't understand about it was I waited till it settled down. It was over 300 decrease. I brought it back up very smoothly to just before zero, and I tried to lead it, and I closed it. And then she started going up, and I started it to the increased position at 150, and then I could barely hold my own. And in fact, I was losing ground the whole time. I did see it go through the crossover point, through the 57% regime down to about 51 or so, and she did fluctuate all over the place, and then settle down again afterwards. And I left the oxidizer flow valve in increased position throughout that whole part of that burn.
Roger, we copy, 10. It'll take our GNC guys a while to analyze the tapes. We'll give you some word after on our next rev, over.
Okay, Charlie, thank you.
Boy, Charlie, I never saw nothing like that. When we came around on the backside, it seems like the colors are different on the backside, more light than they are on the front side, primarily because of the Maria. I wouldn't say it's black. It's shades of black and white and browns in there. And near as I can tell, there's some brown in that thing.
Right, 10. I copied that on
all kinds of shades of gray, of course.
Roger. Copy on the backside that the colors are different, that it appears to be more browns and blacks. Is that correct, or than Amari, over?
Well, yeah, I think as different from the Mari. And one thing that really stands out that wasn't impressed on me before we got here is a very great observable difference between the as far as elevation is concerned, between the Mari and the surrounding terrain, the surrounding islands. Boy, this is really a rugged planet. And I saw a big basin on the backside, and we'll have to get around there and look at it again.
It ought to be coming up in a minute.
Hello, Houston Apollo 10. We've got a beautiful view of the Earth here in the Moon and Earthshine. Sorry about that slip, but it's absolutely fantastic here at night with Earthshine. A TV camera might have enough to pick that up too.
Charlie, the craters, the center of some of the lighter craters glow as if they're lit by radioactive. They just glow in this very low dim light.
Roger. Stand by, 1. Hello, Apollo 10, Houston. In about 10 minutes, as you cross 45 west, look directly north and see if you can see the crater Aristarchus. It's near the horizon, the northern horizon. There have been some reports last night and the night before of some transient events in that crater, some glowing, and they were hoping that you might be able to give them some word on that. Over.
Okay, Charlie, we've got it located. That's in the ocean of storms, about 40, maybe 47 west and about 23 north, huh?
That's affirmative. It's going to be pretty close to the northern horizon, but you might be able to see it. Over.
Okay, fine.
Houston, Apollo 10, I've got Copernicus by Earthlight. It's quite a sight here. Over.
Roger, we copy, 10.
Apollo 10 is approaching 40 degrees west now, getting near landing site number 5, which will be north of the ground track. And the landing area for Surveyor 1 is south of the ground track of Apollo 10. 10 should pass just a little bit north of Surveyor 1 before too long.
Houston, this is 10, over.
Go ahead.
Roger, okay, we're set up in a sleep configuration right now as far as the roll, pitch, and yaw goes, and we've got it in wide deadband.
Roger, we copy that. Over.
In 10-degree deadband, plus or minus 10 degrees. That's all we're allowed in this sleep configuration, isn't it?
That's affirmative, 10. That's what we want. You got the proper entry in. Over.
Hello, Houston, 10.
Roger, go ahead.
We were not able to see any particular activity in the area of Aristachus. It's amazing, though, how well you can, once you find a landmark, navigate in Earthshine across the surface of the moon. It seems to be very well lit from our altitude here.
Roger, 10. We are hoping that we can get some TV past the terminator. The TV experts are looking at it, and we think that we might be able to get some. We'll let you know next time around. Over.
Well, we can't. The moon past the terminator is totally dark as long as we're in sunlight, but the minute we go out of sunlight in the darkness ourselves, the moon then glows right at us.
10, we copy.
Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead, 10, over.
I can, the limb thrusters stick out like a sore thumb in Earthshine too, but they don't keep you from seeing any of the stars up here at night. It's real well lit up.
Roger, understand. In your P-52, you could recognize everything, no problem. That was not blocked by the limb.
That's right, and thus far, believe it or not, we haven't run anything where the limb blocked us from a star. There's one case, but so far we've been lucky.
Roger.
Houston, Apollo 10 in Earthshine, you can see way down in the craters, you can see the shadows in the craters from the Earthshine. But the more you become adapted to it, it's phenomenal the amount of details you can see there. Over.
Roger, 10.
It's nearly what you call field-grade nighttime flying, Charlie.
Roger, Cavu, huh? We got you.
Good, thanks. This is all field grade.
Roger.
It's what John and I call a commander's moon in the Navy.
We got a lot of smart guys down here in the Capcom console.
Hey, Charlie, best I can figure out, we're passing now out of the ocean of storms into some more rugged country here, which is very evident on the surface.
Roger, Gene. We are fighting you right along. That's a good call.
Boy, that engine worked like a champ, Charlie.
Right, so
What do you think of those residuals?
Man, that's really great. We couldn't believe it when you called them down to us. I know you guys happy as clams up there with that performance. We are too down here. One other thing, we noticed your sleep attitude here yawed out about 20 degrees. We call for a yaw of 0, and we're wondering what we have. Over.
Well, you got a yaw at 20 degrees because something keeps targeting us over that way. But is that going to bother you, or do you want it back to 0?
Stand by. Over.
They'll take it back there.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 10. It looks like this water boiler keeps torquing us off because we haven't noticed that any Apollos holding inertial anywhere before. And particularly on this orbital path, you wouldn't expect a yaw would get to you, but it looks like the water boiler's torquing us. Over.
Copy, 10.
Either that or there's a big mass gone up north or something.
It might be that giant escargot up there. We'd like you to take it back to 0 yaw and let's start over again. Over.
All right, Roger. Boy, this moon is lit up like a Christmas tree on the dark side. I don't see any lights, but I mean, it's well illuminated from the Earth.
That's John Young.
It's very descriptive, John.
I'm a little behind these other guys. They may...
Apollo 10, Houston, John, say again, all out the Christmas tree. Over.
I said, I don't mean lit with lights, but it sure is brightly illuminated from the Earth. I'm a little behind these other two guys. They make me mind a disky.
Roger, we recommend you get your share of viewing time also.
Apollo 10 is approaching 70 degrees west. Should be in the area of the crater Grimaldi.
Houston, this 10's something interesting. It looks like we're coming into the termination of Earthshine here, and we're starting to get long shadows on the hills as we go into the Earth terminator.
Our friendly geologist says that's right, coming up on Earthset here.
Would you believe you can even see down in the craters in the Earthshine shadows? Or is that going a little too far?
That's going pretty far there.
Hello, Houston, this is 10.
Go ahead.
Okay, it appears I can recognize at about 30 south and about 80 west that big, wide gorge, very rounded at the bottom, that's bordered on one side by the Rook Mountains and on the other side by the Corded Mountains.
Roger 10, we copy.
And I can see Shoulder with a central peak very, very easily.
Roger, understand you got Schluter.
Okay.
Schluter is a crater at 85 degrees west.
Hello, Apollo 10, Houston. We got 86% on the wastewater. We need a wastewater dump whenever you can get to it, and as soon as you can get to it, over.
We can do it right now, and I'm coming into the sleep attitude at this time.
What do you want to dump it to, Charlie?
Roger, down to 25%, over.
Okay. Houston 10, we got indications on a gauge here that we're dumping slowly.
10, Roger, stand by.
The flight dynamics officer, Phil Schaffer, says further tracking shows the orbit as 170.6 by 59.7 nautical miles. We're still 10 minutes, 45 seconds away from loss of signal on this first revolution of the moon. Showing velocity at 5,115 feet per second.
Hello, 10, Houston. We're coming up 9 minutes to LOS. We'll be standing by for your report on the high gain antenna LOS and AOS pitch in yaw positions at AOS of 78, 31, 21. Over.
Roger. Boy, this planet is really something, Charlie.
Roger 10, elaborate, John. We've heard that twice now.
That's about all I know how to put it. It's got a lot more character than it looks like from sitting down there on the ground. When you get up close to it, it stands out. It's got its own features that are certainly clearly recognizable and much different than you see around the Earth, that's for sure.
Right, John. Wish we were there to look at it with
Charlie,
you. Go ahead.
Charlie, there's three lighting conditions very evident. One is sunlight, earth shine, and now we're in pitch darkness, although you can still see the lunar horizon against the black sky. It's a black moon that you can't really see anything on, but there is a definite distinguishable horizon against the black sky where the stars are coming up. And both terminators are very interesting. Terminator produced by sunlight and terminator produced by earthshine are very similar. The earthshine terminator, being of a lower light level, is a very ghost-like shadowy appearance, where the sunlight terminator is a very definite sharp image, a sharp shadow image.
Roger 10, on this your comment about in darkness you can see the moon horizon. Is that just a star occulting, or can you actually see features on the horizon? Over.
Charlie, if I had a pencil, I could draw you right across my window. I could draw you the horizon. There seems to be ever since we went into total darkness on the surface out of earthshine, there seems to be a continued glow from behind the horizon, which lights it up continually, and you can't distinguish sharp features, but the general terrain you can see.
Roger. Is that like air glow, the air glow layer?
Say again, Dordo.
Is that like a glow similar to the air glow layer here on Earth, in Earth orbit?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, Gordo, I've been flying a spacecraft. I just turned around and looked out, and it starts, you can see it's a bright horizon, but it looks like it might be the Milky Way, but the sky is definitely lighter, and it goes down and clips off, and you can make some of the rough terrain features out about it. It might be that we could be right close to the Milky Way out there, but it looks like about the same intensity of the Milky Way as you see it at night around the Earth. It does get lighter over in one section, and we'll give you a comment on that later.
Okay, very good.
But Gordo, there's no air glow at all. It's just a sharp definition between the moon surface and this parabolic glow that's out there.
It's a good sharp horizon then, huh?
Gordo knows ain't no. Yeah, I think you could make a cat shot off a horizon like that. You can tell it has to be well lighted.
You might make a cat shot, but I'm not.
I didn't even think you knew what that meant.
Oh, I know all the words. A night limb launch might be just like a cat shot. 10, Houston, coming up on 3 minutes. You can terminate your water dump, and you're looking good as you go over the hill.
Roger, Houston.
And we've lost the signal as Apollo 10 turns the corner and goes behind the moon. The crew giving us a rather graphic description of their first revolution around the moon. Shortly after acquisition of Sgnal on this first rev, you heard Tom Stafford calling out some names of features that heretofore have not been attached to the moon. These are unofficial identifications of features that the crew has come up with. Names such as US-1, the Oklahoma Hills, Diamondback Rail, Sidewinder Rail, and they have a number of others. All of these features are primarily along on either side of the ground track in the area leading down to landing site 2, in the approach path of landing site 2. We will acquire Apollo 10 on the second revolution at an elapsed time of 78 hours, 31 minutes, 19 seconds. Some 41 minutes from now. This is Mission Control Houston at 77 hours, 50 minutes. This is Apollo Control at 78 hours, 29 minutes. We're about 2 minutes away from acquisition of Apollo 10 on its second lunar revolution. Shortly after acquiring the spacecraft, the ground will give the crew a go, no-go for the LOI-2 burn. This is the maneuver designed to circularize the orbit to as near to 60 nautical miles as possible. This maneuver will take place behind the moon, as did the Lunar Orbit Insertion number 1 burn. It will come at approximately 80 hours, 22 minutes. We'll get the precise time when they pass up the update. Will be a much shorter duration burn, but again with the service propulsion system. We're less than a minute now from acquisition time. We'll stand by live for first transmission from Apollo 10.
Hello, Apollo 10 to Houston, standing by.
It looked like the react mode worked pretty well there. Everything we've wired and read you loud and clear.
Roger 10, we had you go through that again about the react, over.
I said I went to those pitch triangles and the react, narrowed that band, and this attitude picks you up loud and strong here.
Roger, where did the antenna go to in pitch and yell at LOS, over?
We're waiting for high bitrate telemetry here so that we can command state vector and some target pads.
Houston, we're having trouble getting our high bitrate command in. We'd like you to select high bitrate, over. Hello 10, Houston, over.
Go ahead, I gave it to you, Charlie.
Okay, we got it. We got a load for you, and if you'll give us the computer and accept, we'll send you up a maneuver pad, a target load, and a state vector, over.
Okay, you're in poo and accept.
Roger, and we have a LOI-2 pad, a TEI-5 pad, and a map update for you if you're ready to copy.
Stand by 1 sec, Charlie. Charlie, give me the map update first, would you please?
Roger, it's Rev 3, and we got the LOS time of 795622 800641. AOS 804045. Got a sunrise of 800013 and a sunset of 811430. Over.
Okay, map update, Rev 3, 79er 562. 804045, sunrise is at 800013 and sets at 811430.
That's affirmed. Ten, we're having trouble.
I'm ready for the...
10, Houston, we'd like you to go up telemetry, command reset to command reset and back to normal. We're having trouble getting our commands in, over.
Okay, command reset back to normal.
Roger, and if you're ready to copy, I have the LOI-2 pad, over.
Just 1 sec, Charlie.
Apollo 10, Houston, now we'd like the up telemetry command reset to off and then back to normal, over.
Okay, off and then normal, and I'm ready to copy.
Roger, 10, here comes the LOI-2 pad. SPS, GNN, 38650, plus 183, minus 074 080 25 0738. 981 is minus 01390, plus all balls, minus all balls, 000 209er 000. And now 44 is 00601 plus 00601 01390 014 01325. Section star 162205232. Rest of the pad is NA. Your set stars are Vega and Denham. 241 240 013. 2 jet at 17 seconds on the LH. Over.
Roger, LOI-2 SBS GNN 38650, plus 183, minus 074 080 250738, minus 01390, plus all balls, minus all balls. Roll is 000, pitch is 209, yaw is 000. 00601 plus 00601. 01390, 0141325. Section star is 162205 232. Vega and Denham 241 240013. 2 jet LH, 17 seconds.
Roger, Delta VC was 01325. Over.
Roger, may I write a background? That's all I got written down. 01325.
Roger, 10, and stand by for the TEI pad, over.
Okay.
Hello, 10, Houston, we have your primary evap dried out. We'd like you to close the back pressure valve, over.
Okay, closing it.
10, Houston, appears we're having a little problem with our ground uplinking capability. We'll keep you posted. I have a TEI 5 pad if you're ready to copy, over.
Charlie, wait a minute, my finger's still on a button here. I'll be right with you. Go ahead, Charlie, with the TEI pad.
10, Houston, stand by for about a minute. We're going to bring down our uplink, and you won't hear us for about a minute. We're going to try to reconfigure ground site. We've got problems with our uplink, over.
Okay.
This is Apollo Control. The time for the Lunar Orbit Insertion number 2 burn, 80 hours, 25 minutes, 7 seconds. Delta V of 139 feet per second. Duration of the burn will be 14 seconds. For the first time, we'll be using ullage prior to this burn, using 2 of the RCS thrusters, burning those for 17 seconds prior to the service propulsion system ignition to settle the propellants in the tank. This is necessary after that long LOI number 1 burn. We have a large ullage volume in the tank, not near as much propellants as before, and we'll use ullage to settle those propellants before igniting the SPS. And if this burn goes as planned, we will have circular...
And Houston, with the TEI 5 pad, if you're ready to copy, over.
Okay, Charlie, go ahead.
Roger, TEI 5, SPS, GNN, minus 061, plus 0, correction, the noun 47 is NA, starting off with noun 48, minus 061, plus 047, 086, 19er, 1000, plus 36430, minus 01493, plus 00546. Pitch angle is 025. Rest of the pad is NA.
Okay, TEI 5 SPS GNN starting with noun 48 is minus 061 plus 047 086 19er 1000 plus 36430 minus 01493 plus 00546, and pitch angle is 025.
That's affirmative, and we've had a problem with our uplink at Goldstone. They're configuring now, and we'll be with you in a load momentarily, over.
Okay, fine.
If this next burn goes as planned, we will have circularized the orbit at 60.1 nautical miles.
While we got a moment here, before we get our load into you, we got a couple of comments. For LOI 2, we recommend you just place the oxidizer flow increase valve to normal and go primary, over.
You want me to stay normal in primary through that whole burn, is that correct?
That's affirmative. We feel it is so short that that's the best position, and then for TEI, we'll have a story for you on how we want you to operate the plugs. Also for TV, if we try the dark side TV, recommend a ALC to inside and an f-stop of 2.2, over.
Okay, we got that, Charlie. And I want you to understand that I did go back to normal about 20 seconds before the LOI 1 burn ended, so that's where I am. And after I did that, my increase on balance moved up probably about 100 pounds.
Roger.
All right. Charlie, just for reference, is exactly where we are. We're looking right down on the top of Messier and Messier A, and we've got trenches to one side, and we're just right in the middle of the Sear fertility, coming right up the track into the landing site.
Right, thank you.
This is Apollo Control. We've played back the data from behind the moon during the LOI-1 time.
You can really see some boulders in the bottom of Messier A now. Yeah, you can see some tremendous boulders down there.
We copy, 10. We finally got Goldstone configured. We're coming up with the load now. Over.
Okay, we're in CMC and acceptance pool. We can see the load coming.
Rod. You guys been taking some good pictures for us?
Right, and for correlation, I've been on the same sites. I've been shooting one black and white of the special. I've been shooting one black and white and one of the special color on the same reference.
Roger, that's very good. That's 10 out.
Roger, we think we got a few colors here for you. At least you're certain ones that are real black going into whites and some browns.
Roger, we heard your tape on the backside during the LOI-1, and seemed like there was a disagreement between brownish and bluish there.
The blue was just a little remark.
10, Houston, if you got a moment to comment on your tape playback from LOI-1 after the burn was completed, we heard a comment about, hey, look at that bubble. Could you elaborate on that, over?
Charlie, I guess it was a bubble of water or something, right, hanging with us right after the burn. I tried to take a picture of it. I don't know if we got it or not, but it was a bluish crystalline type bubble about 5 feet out where the LEM thrusters are. It probably came either from water or from the resultant residual of the SPS burn.
Roger, 10, how large was it? Could you estimate that?
Oh, maybe a half an inch in diameter.
Roger, we copy.
Okay, Houston, this time we are looking down, right down on B1 out of the hatch window.
We copy, 10. How does the terrain look around that?
Just like the map.
Raj, how does the terrain look around that area?
With a naked eye, it's full of holes.
Roger, looks pretty smooth on our map. Of course, we got one of the world here, but real smooth.
Charlie, through the binocular, you can see little shiny, fresh craters that you can't see with the naked eye. They're pretty well scattered, but there's quite a few of them down there that you can't seem to pick out with the naked eye.
Roger, we copy. Houston, we got the loads in. You can go back to block, over.
Okay, we're back in block. We're passing right over masculine now, and John is shooting back at site 1.
Roger.
This week we're going to run out of all our film and a couple of revs.
A slight shudder emanated from the geologist back there.
Charlie, I'm personally amazed how accurate the maps are in picking out these landmarks and craters.
10, Houston, you can put your PCM switch back to low bit rate, over.
Okay. No.
Houston, Houston, Apollo 10. We can now see quite a bit more of Moki as the moon revolves. And landing site 2 is rough. It's just barely starting to come in. It's still too early to tell much about it. Over.
Roger, we copy, 10. 10, can you see the on the CSM Lunar Orbit map the spot marked 112 near Site 2? It looks like a bright whitish crater. Over. Oh, that's smoky. Excuse me sorry about that, 10.
Yeah, Moki is very, very easy to see. We've seen it both times around. Not only are the rills, but the low ridges are very distinguishable approaching the landing site. And the sun angle is such that we cannot see into the bottom of the of Diamondback and Sidewinder rills.
Very good.
This is Apollo Control. The flight surgeon has taken a look at the heart rate data now from the playback during the LOI-1 burn. The ignition time of that burn was 75:55:53. At 75:55:50, Tom Stafford's heart rate was 120. At 75:56:10, it was 123. At 75:56:30, it was back to 120. And at 75:56:40, it was down to 95. For Command Module pilot John Young, at those same times, it was 94, 98, 83, and 86. And for Lunar Module pilot Gene Cernan, 91, 85, 74, and 70. Apollo 10 now near the landing site 3 area. This is also the area in which Surveyor 6 landed.
Houston, Apollo 10, we see the solar corona, and it's really beautiful.
Roger, 10, we copy.
And we're timing it how long we can see it now. We can still see it. The sun went down exactly at about 45, and we can still see edges of it. It's mostly a long shaft of light. And we can still see it. It's still there.
Roger, 10.
Houston, Apollo 10, the corona is still out there. You can see it quite bigger.
Very good,
and
10.
you can see stars within about, I could see some in about 20 degrees of the corona. It's still there, Charlie. It's amazing.
Raj, on a TV pass, do you think we could pick that up?
Shouldn't be any problem in this attitude. If we're in this attitude upside down going away, and we'll go from interior to the out there, you should see it as a long streak. And right now it's finally starting to fade out, Charlie. It's been a period of nearly 2 minutes, and you can see it.
10, how long does the shafting look as it comes across? Does it get shorter as you go away, or just sort of fade out? Over.
It just fades out. The shaft is getting shorter and shorter. It's just a little bit left there, and it'll be gone in another few seconds.
Roger.
And it's spread over a very small area of the horizon, just right in the vicinity where the sun sets. It doesn't go any further either left or right.
All right.
Still see traces of it. It's greatly diminished now, but you can still see a few traces of it. Okay, we'll get on with our B-52.
Be good, 10.
Most of that description was by Tom Stafford with Gene Cernan coming in right there along toward the last.